In the quaint town of Willowbrook, nestled in the heart of New England, life had always been peaceful. The residents knew each other's names, and the biggest concern was whether the annual town fair would have good weather. However, the serenity was shattered when the most heinous crime in the town's history occurred. The Willowbrook Mansion murder is a gripping tale that will take you on a roller coaster ride of suspense, deceit, and unexpected twists. In this thrilling journey, you'll follow the footsteps of Detective Jane Matthews, a seasoned investigator with a knack for solving the most perplexing cases. Willowbrook, once a haven of tranquility, becomes the epicenter of chaos and paranoia as a gruesome murder rocks the tight-knit community. As the eerie shadows of suspicion fall over the residents, dark secrets and hidden agendas begin to surface. Everyone is a potential suspect, and no one can be trusted. With the clock ticking and the body count rising, Detective Matthews must untangle a web of lies and deceit to uncover the truth behind this bloody mystery. The fate of Willowbrook hangs in the balance, and justice must prevail. Prepare to be captivated by the intricate plot, well-defined characters, and an atmosphere so thick with tension that you'll find it hard to stop listening to this story. The Willowbrook Mansion murder will keep you guessing until the very end, and the shocking revelation of the true murderer will leave you breathless. Before we get started, I would appreciate your support, so please like and subscribe to this channel. The moon hung low in the night sky, casting an eerie glow over Willowbrook's most enigmatic structure, the Vanderbilt Mansion. Perched atop a hill, the mansion was a relic of the town's past, an imposing edifice that had always inspired a mix of fascination and fear among the townsfolk. The Vanderbilt Mansion loomed on the outskirts of Willowbrook like an enigma wrapped in antiquity. It was, without a doubt, a mysterious and imposing presence in the town, casting a long shadow over the tranquil community. At night, the mansion took on an even more ominous appearance. When the moon hung low in the sky, its pale light cast eerie shadows across the mansion's facade, making it appear as though the building itself were a creature of the night. Over the years, the mansion had acquired a multitude of legends and ghostly tales. Whispers of strange lights seen in the windows at night, eerie sounds emanating from its depths, and fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures in its overgrown gardens had all contributed to its reputation as a place of mystery. No one in Willowbrook knew the true history of the mansion, and it seemed as though the building itself guarded its secrets with a tenacious grip. The Vanderbilt Mansion remained a tantalizing enigma, a place where the past and present converged in an unsettling dance, and where mysteries waited to be unraveled by those daring enough to venture into its ominous embrace. On this fateful night, Detective Jane Matthews, a seasoned investigator with a knack for solving the most perplexing cases, parked her car at the foot of the hill and stared up at the mansion's dark silhouette. She couldn't ignore the chill that ran down her spine as she contemplated the grim task ahead. The mansion had been the scene of a gruesome murder. The victim, a prominent figure in the town, lay lifeless in one of its many dimly lit rooms. As Jane stepped out of her car, she couldn't help but notice the oddity of the situation. The front door was ajar, a clear invitation to anyone daring enough to enter. With caution in her steps, she made her way up the stone path, her flashlight illuminating the way. As she neared the door, her heart pounded in her chest, the sound of her own pulse reverberating in her ears. She couldn't shake the feeling that she was stepping into a trap, that there were eyes watching her every move from the darkness beyond the door. Inside, the air was thick with a sense of foreboding. The mansion's grandeur had long faded, replaced by a shroud of darkness that seemed to seep from the very walls. Jane's instincts told her that there was more to this murder than met the eye. The scene was almost too perfectly staged, as if the killer had planned every detail meticulously. She approached the room where the lifeless body lay. She prepared herself for what she was about to witness. The room's entrance was shrouded in a heavy velvet curtain, its rich burgundy color contrasting sharply with the pallor of the surrounding walls. Jane reached out, her gloved hand trembling slightly, and with a slow, deliberate motion, she pushed the curtain aside. The scene that met her eyes was a tableau of horror that sent shivers down her spine. The room was dimly lit by a single flickering candle on an ornate wooden table. The walls bore cryptic symbols, etched in what appeared to be dried blood, their meaning known only to the twisted mind that had created them. The antique furniture was adorned with blood splatters, like macabre artwork in a gruesome gallery. Blood seemed to have been flung across the room like grotesque brushstrokes in a deranged artist's masterpiece. The antique furniture bore the brunt of this bizarre artistry, with blood splatters forming strange patterns on the intricately carved wood. Each splatter seemed to tell a horrific story of violence and desperation. The walls were not spared either. Red smears and handprints adorned the wallpaper, creating a nightmarish mural of suffering and terror. It was as if the very essence of fear had seeped into the room, staining it irreparably. In the center of the room lay the lifeless body of the town council member, sprawled in a grotesque posture. The victim's eyes stared blankly into the abyss, as if holding on to the final moments of terror. The victim's lifeless hands clutched at the bloodstained carpet, fingers curled in a final, desperate grasp at life. It was a haunting sight that sent chills down the spine, a stark reminder of the brutality that had occurred within these walls. It was a sight that no one could ever forget, and Jane could feel the weight of this crime pressing down on her shoulders. And so, the investigation had begun, and Detective Matthews knew that solving this murder would be far from straightforward. The anticipation that had been building within her, now, gave way to a relentless determination to unravel the secrets hidden within the Vanderbilt mansion. Willowbrook had never seen a crime like this, and it was just the beginning of a trail that would lead her down a path of secrets and lies. Little did she know that the small town's idyllic facade would soon crumble, revealing a darker underbelly, and that the hunt for the killer would push her to the limits of her abilities. End of Chapter 1. Please subscribe for the next chapter of the Willowbrook Mansion murders.